Happy Friday, Mr. Nickel here. I got a response to the CounterArguments video on the Friday song. This is a song that I've had a lot of opinions about for a long time, so I think it's great that he brought it up, and he brought out some really cool points that I hadn't considered. So I'm gonna share some points that I don't think he considered. What I loved about the video, for one, is it is just a great reflection on how much YouTube as a platform has grown since 2011? And also talk about the video quality. Like, is it homemade or is it high produced? Like, the production value is kind of in between. And how much we've grown as people and how much like our culture has grown since then. And I think how CounterArguments as a channel and the creator behind it has grown in those 10 years as well. I think it's a beautiful film. It's a great way to kind of put an end to this chapter that he is doing. It's unfortunate that he's not continuing, but I totally understand why. I think there's another layer that really ties in with that in a really interesting way, in that this song, a lot of people don't even seem to realize this, it is a kid's song. In my opinion, it's aged for 3 to 7. After 7, it's gonna be a little too old for them. I have been using it when I was a preschool lead teacher. I would use it while we're doing the calendar song. It looks like this. Hey, gotta get down on Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Sit down, Johnny, don't you dare. And now, one of my responsibilities of the place I'm at is being a shuttle bus driver, getting kids from our center to their actual school. And I use it on the bus on Fridays, and the kids love it. Like, they love this song, and it really captures the feeling of Friday for a child. That's what makes it great, but that's also what makes it kind of campy for adults. And that's why Rebecca Black liked it as well.
It was this cute little song of like waking up, going to school, and I was like, yeah, I do that.
But you have that with this very grown-up radio style music production quality, right? So it's like a pop tune for adults, but it's a kid's song, and it just was really awkward. And you can compare it to something that is self-aware of that, which is What Did the Fox Say? That video is kind of a perfect blend between these two worlds. It's very self-aware, and grown-ups and kids appreciate it for similar and different reasons. But not this video, not Friday. And I actually really love it for that quality, because it's symbolic of adolescence. That adolescence itself is this awkward mix of childhood and adulthood, and things are really awkward at that age. It's awkward how many times I need to say awkward. And I think part of why we loved hating it so much is, on some level, we recognized it as adolescence, and that's a time that is full of bullying. I was bullied at that age. I think most kids were. So then you want to like pay the bullying forward, and also just like you want to just laugh at the age itself. And I think that played a critical role, if you will, in the Friday song hate. And the reason why I think this was left out, and I think you might agree that seems pretty reasonable. Why didn't I think of that? Because a lot of people aren't around child development like me. I've gone to grad school for child development. I live, breathe, eat this stuff up. And that's what this channel was for originally, and I'm making a pivot right now. This channel's been a little too niche, and I want to open it up a little bit. I think there's a lot of great analysis of children's content out there. I see a lot of film critics critiquing like Disney, Pixar movies, etc. And that's great in children's shows, but they don't have the background to do the child development part. And it's not their fault. They have the filmmaking part, and that's the part that I historically have been lacking in. So I appreciate that angle. But I think there's another very, 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 very important angle. How is children's media right now affecting our kids right now? And how did children's media when we were kids affect us growing up? Like, I think those are some really interesting questions, and that's something that I want to explore more with this. And by doing so, encouraging a children's media revolution where we make better kids content and we hold kids content to a higher standard. A lot of parents are very dissatisfied with what is on air for their kids. And I want to get your thoughts. What sounds intriguing to you? What should I work on next? What would you be looking forward to? So I also want to validate certain shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think every kid should watch that show. That is a brilliant show. What's wrong with Trolls? Why is that an awful film? I clearly have a very strong opinions about this movie. Why is Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood a thing? Why Wreck-It Ralph 2 has the most irresponsible message I've ever seen in a movie. The strange morality of this Netflix movie that I'm forgetting the name of right now. And stuff like critiquing YouTube as a platform. What's going on with unboxing videos? I would love to see YouTube remove unboxing videos. And so I want to talk about why and how we could do that. Just weird kids YouTube channels in general, as well as like the stuff that I originally set out to is like, how do you write a kids song? How do you make kids videos? How do you make stuff for kids that is of a high caliber? And then, but next up is my visit to the Fred Rogers Center and some of the lessons that I gleaned from that. So what do you think? I'm gonna try to link to a poll in the comments below, but I want your thoughts. Like what stuff do you want me to make? I'd be happy to make it for you. That's all for today. Use what you have to make something awesome, and see you next time. All right, kids, do you know what day it is? That's right, today is Friday. Boom!